We meet at a college noted for knowledge, in a city noted for progress, in a state noted for strength, and we stand in need of all three. For we meet in an hour of change and challenge, in a decade of hope and fear, in an age of both knowledge and ignorance. The greater our knowledge increases, the greater our ignorance unfolds. Despite the striking fact that most of the scientists that the world has ever known are alive and working today, despite the fact that this nation's own scientific manpower is doubling every 12 years in a rate of growth more than 3 times that of our population as a whole, despite that, the vast stretches of the unknown and the unanswered and the unfinished still far outstrip our collective comprehension. No man can fully grasp how far and how fast we have come. But condense, if you will, the 50,000 years of man's recorded history in a time span of but a half a century. Stated in these terms, we know very little about the first 40 years, except at the end of them, advanced man had learned to use the skins of animals to cover them. Then about 10 years ago, under this standard, man emerged from his caves to construct other kinds of shelters. Only 5 years ago, man learned to write and use a cart with wheels. Christianity began less than 2 years ago. The printing press came this year. And then less than 2 months ago, during this whole 50-year span of human history, the steam engine provided a new source of power. Newton explored the meaning of gravity. Last month, electric lights and telephones and automobiles and airplanes became available. Only last week did we develop penicillin and television and nuclear power. And now, if America's new spacecraft succeeds in reaching Venus, we will have literally reached the stars before midnight tonight. This is a breathtaking pace, and such a pace cannot help but create new ills as it dispels old. New ignorance, new problems.
We live in this structure, this designed farming system where we're herded around during the weak time. You know, they want us to recover, you know, they give us the weekend to recover. The parasites never want to kill their host. They'll bring them right up to it, but they won't kill them. So they tell us what they're doing to us as they do it. We live in the weak.
What do we have here, Ken? Let's see. You always say an indictment, all right? Why don't you read it to me? You're up for election, aren't you? Mr. Bundy got it, didn't you? Mr. Bundy? You told me that you were going to get me. He said he was going to get me. Okay, you've got the indictment. It's all you're going to get. Let's read it. Let's go.
Theodore Robert Bundy, you are charged, indictment, 2 counts burglary, 2 counts murder in the first degree, 3 counts attempted murder in the first degree. Design or intent to effect the death of said Lisa Levy.
My chance to talk to the press.
Contrary to section 78204 Florida statute.
I'll plead not guilty right now.
And your grand jury is being
Since last Sunday's dreadful news, we have seen throughout Britain and around the world an overwhelming expression of sadness at Diana's death. We have all been trying in our different ways to cope. It is not easy to express a sense of loss.
We live in this,
since the initial shock is often succeeded by a
structure,
mixture of other feelings, disbelief,
designed,
incomprehension, anger, and concern for those
farming system where we're herded around.
We have all felt those emotions
during the weak time.
So what I say to you now,
they want us to recover.
And as a grandmother, I say from my heart. First, I want to pay tribute to
They give us the
Diana
weekend
myself. She was an exceptional
to recover.
and gifted human being.
The parasites never want to kill their host. They'll bring them right up to it, but they won't kill them.
I admired and respected her for her energy and commitment to others, and especially for her devotion to her 2 boys. This week at Balmoral, we have all been trying to help William and Harry come to terms with the devastating loss that they and the rest of us have suffered. No one who knew Diana will ever forget her. Millions of others who never met her, but felt they knew her, will remember her. I, for one, believe there are lessons to be drawn from her life and from the extraordinary and moving reaction to her death. I share in your determination to cherish her memory. This is also an opportunity for me, on behalf of my family, and especially Prince Charles and William and Harry, to thank all of you who have brought flowers, sent messages, and paid your respects in so many ways to a remarkable person. These acts of kindness have been a huge source of help and comfort. Our thoughts are also with Diana's family and the families of those who died with her. I know that they too have drawn strength from what has happened since last weekend, as they seek to heal their sorrow and then to face the future without a loved one. I hope that tomorrow we can all, wherever we are, join in expressing our grief at Diana's loss and gratitude for her all too short life. It is a chance to show to the whole world the British nation united in grief and respect. May those who died rest in peace, and may we, each and every one of us, thank God for someone who made many, many people happy. Since last Sunday's dreadful news, we have seen throughout Britain and around the world an overwhelming expression of sadness at Diana's death. We have all been trying in our different ways to cope. It is not easy to express
we live in this
since the initial shock is often
structure,
by a mixture of other feelings,
designed,
disbelief, incomprehension, anger,
farming system where we're herded around
we have all
during
felt
the
those
weak time.
In these last few days.
They want us to recover.
As your queen and as a grandmother, I say from my heart. First,
they give us the weekend
to Diana myself.
to recover.
She was an exceptional and gifted human being.
The parasites never want to kill their host.
She never lost her capacity to smile and laugh.
They'll bring them right up to it, but they won't kill them.
Others with her warmth and kindness. I admired and respected her.
So they,
her energy,
and they tell us what they're doing to us as they do it.
For her devotion to her 2 boys. This week at Balmoral, we have all been
We live in the week.
William and Harry come to terms
That's the time that we're being harvested, and then they give us the weekend, a little yard time,
No one who knew Diana will ever forget her.
because we've been weakened.
Millions of
They
others
need us to
who
recover.
never met her,
So go eat the
felt
food
they knew her,
we want you to
will
eat.
remember her.
Put all that stuff into your bloodstream for
I,
us.
for one, believe there are lessons to be drawn from her life and from the extraordinary and moving reaction to her death.
And they separate us in these time zones,
To cherish her memory.
so there's always a fresh supply.
This is also an opportunity for me, on behalf of my family, and especially Prince Charles and William and Harry, to thank all of you who have brought flowers, sent
We live on a farm.
and paid your respects in so many ways to a remarkable person.
They get into us also through our Wi-Fi and our
Our thoughts
routers.
are also with Diana's family, and the families of those who died with her.
If you unplug your router, you will get phone calls from your carrier. They do not want that thing unplugged. It's another way they get into you. They get into you when you're sleeping.
And then to face the future without a loved one.
That's what dreams are.
I hope
They're
that tomorrow,
uploading
we all, wherever we are, join in
programs into
expressing
you.
our grief
That's why
for
dreams are so
Diana's loss
jumbled to us,
and
because
gratitude for her all too short life. It is a chance
they get
to show to the whole world
into us through the Wi-Fi
the British nation united
and
in
upload
grief
new
and
programs.
respect.
Like,
May
you know, an
those who
IT guy.
died rest in peace. And may we, each and every one of us,
It's a whole network.
thank God for someone
That's our
who
dreams,
made
and that's what
many,
deja vu
many
is.
people happy.